Smash the like button, comment and share. Julian Alvarez linked to very many teams in what we call London, and other teams outside the Premier League. And he's that kind of player that came in through when when he came to scene, when he signed for Man City, and the rest was history. I loved the player the moment I saw him. Actually, he was playing for the same team with Enzo Fernandez, that is River Plate, and they all signed for Man City and Benfica respectively in the same summer transfer window of 2022. And 6 months later, you saw them win the World Cup with Argentina, and that saw Enzo Fernandez being bought for 120 million euros from Benfica to the side of Chelsea. And for Enzo Fernandez, he went ahead to make a record. For Julian Alvarez, he went ahead to make a record of being the first player to win all the trophies at that age in just his single season, or his first season at the club of Man City. Remember when he came in through at Man City won the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, and the Club World Cup, and also went ahead to win the World Cup. So he won every trophy that a player would want to win in his entire career. He won all the trophies that a player would want to win in his entire career in just a single season. And that was really very momentous for this guy. So let's see close to 100 likes or 200 or 300 likes mark this video. And don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Julian Alvarez is that player that has gone ahead, obviously, see to it that has gone ahead to make the news, and I'm here to obviously bring you these stories. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, to the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Now, let's start it off with the man that broke the story. Julian Alvarez was asked when Real Madrid and Barcelona put out a statement back in December on Christmas, and he said, "The truth is, I'm very happy at Man City. I've been at the club for a little more than 1 year. I feel very happy with everything we've achieved. Now our goal is to compete and try to win them all again." Something they failed obviously win into that season. So after that is 2023, we then got a story coming in through from Gaston Edul, who reports all news coming in from Argentina, and he told us that Atletico Madrid interest in Man City Julian Alvarez is real, and the La Liga club have explored the possibility of a sell or loan with a fee. However, it's highly unlikely he'll leave Man City due to the club's reluctance to sell. Now, I want you to follow all these stories that I'm reading for you, right? You are going to see how these things are building up. From that of him being linked to Barcelona and Real Madrid, he said he's happy at what? At Man City. Then, when the story showed up of Atletico Madrid showing interest, they said that Man City is reluctant to what? To sell. Now, another story came in through Gaston Edu, the same guy who said that Man City is reluctant to sell. On June 5th, he came out and put out a story that there is a possibility that an offer from a big Premier League club will arrive in the coming days for Man City striker Julian Alvarez. Have you heard? Big Premier League club. And when you talk about big Premier League clubs that are really looking in for strikers, we are having Chelsea, we are having Manchester United, and we are having Arsenal. You understand? So everyone was like, if you're to talk about Manchester United, Man City cannot sell to Manchester United because of the grudge they have and the rivalry. You get? And the rest of the two clubs left, Arsenal and Chelsea, have gone ahead to obviously get players from Man City. You know that very well. On several occasions, they've gone ahead to buy players from the club of Man City. For Arsenal, they bought Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. For Chelsea, they bought Carl Palmer and Raheem Sterling, all from Man City, and they really did business. And they also sold Kovacic. Chelsea sold Kovacic to the side of Manchester City, meaning that they're really having some good rapport in as far as selling players is really concerned. Now, that sparked a debate that it should be Chelsea or Arsenal interested into Julian Alvarez, because those are the two teams that are really interested in really signing a striker, and they're the big teams that Man City can sell to. We all know that. Now, after that, we got a story from Fabrizio Romano. He said, several clubs have approached Julian Alvarez, not only Atletico Madrid, but also Paris Saint-Germain, showing interest. No proposals or negotiations yet, but several clubs keen, also from England. So, Fabrizio Romano was like confirming what Edson Edul went ahead to let us know about which people are interested in this guy. However much Atletico Madrid and PSG are interested in this player, it's all about him knowing exactly what to do, and he hinted on to teams in England, right? The teams in England are also interested in signing this guy known as Julian Alvarez. And in particular, he said Atletico Madrid had already gone ahead to obviously open up talks with the side of the player, not Man City, but with the side of the player. So I want to show you how this has gone ahead to build up to where it is right now, that Julian Alvarez is linked to Chelsea or Arsenal in there for you. That is Fabrizio Romano. Now, there are those that are saying Man City cannot sell, Man City can't sell. Guys, I'm gonna really, let me note it down here and don't forget it. I'm gonna show you something about it is something about Neymar, to show you that no player is not for sale. Every player is up for sale, right? Every player is up for sale. Then we got in another update coming in through from Fabrizio Romano. He said, if Man City do allow Julian Alvarez to leave, it would be for big money, as Man City have no intention to sell or loan. It will only happen if the player requests to go and City receives a lot of money. Quote those words coming in through from Fabrizio Romano, that if Man City is to obviously allow Julian Alvarez to go, one, it won't be a loan. It will be a sell. You know, and Man City have no intention to sell or loan. And if the player decides, obviously, put in his request that he wants to leave the side of Man City, they will let him go. You get? And Man City has that reputation. Let me bring you up to speed. Man City still wanted Gabriel Jesus, though I've gone ahead to see very many pundits coming out and really saying that Man City never wanted Jesus. Jesus was left with just 1 year on his contract, and Man City were like, this guy, we love him, he doesn't want to stay here. If we keep him here, we are going to lose him out on a free. And they managed to get £45 million to £50 million. Those are £5 million of add-ons to see to it that they sign in this player. You understand? And that's how Man City went ahead, obviously, sell this player called, the player is called Julian Alvarez to the side of, the player called Gabriel Jesus to the side of Arsenal. Even Zinchenko put in a request that he wants to leave. Raheem Sterling the same. Cancelo the same. All of the players that have gone ahead to leave Man City, it's as a result of them. So, it's as a result of them coming out and really saying, we want to go. You get? We want to go. That is it. You understand? So, City can sell any player, provided the player says, I want to go. Even if it's KDB, even if it's Erling Haaland, even if it's Phil Foden, The moment a player says, I would love to leave the club of Man City, Man City will never stand in anyone's way. They'll obviously say, it's time for you. You obviously leave. Now, I would like to obviously continue and really show you that Man City can sell any player provided the player says, I want to leave the club. Now, have you gone ahead to follow up on lots and lots and lots of these stories I've gone ahead obviously be putting up here? Because I want us to go into a huge argument or a huge discussion when you've gone ahead to obviously pay attention to detail. Fabrizio is telling us that Man City is not willing to sell, but if the player wants to go, Man City will be willing to sell. You get? If the player puts in a request, Man City will be willing to sell. All right, let's proceed. Man City are not planning to accept any loan proposal for Julian Alvarez this summer. He wants to play more, and the club has been informed by Alvarez's camp. City still want to keep Julian Alvarez. Paris Saint-Germain approached Alvarez's agent in the recent days as revealed. Now, this is where Julian Alvarez can leave City. One, he wants to play more. He wants more playing time. He wants more playing time at Man City. That is his request. He wants to be played more and more and more and more as a player for the club of Man. He wants to be played more and more as a player for the club of Man City. And he's not getting in ample playing time. He doesn't start games when Erling Haaland is there. And Erling Haaland is this kind of person that rarely gets injured. And this season, the reason as to why Julian Alvarez has gone ahead to obviously get in some good playing time, all game playing time, it's because Erling Haaland has been really injured. And when you look at this season, Julian Alvarez has gone ahead to play 36 games, 11 goals and 9 assists. Those are 20 goal involvements. In the Champions League, 7 games, 5 goals and 2 assists, meaning that he has gone ahead to score those are 16. In the Club World Cup, he went ahead to score 2. And I think the FA Cup had some huge number of goals in there for you. So he hit 20 goals this season. And he was really playing most of his games at all off the bench. And let me ask, how many games? How many games Alvarez started 2023 2024? Let's roll it and see. So Julian Alvarez, 9 goals and 7 assists in the 31 appearances as a starter in the Premier League. So he went ahead obviously have 31 starts in the Premier League, and he's still complaining that he wants more playing time. That is Julian Alvarez for you. So that means Julian Alvarez, who wants to be the main man at a club, and if at all a club is not willing to obviously offer him what he wants, then he will obviously show them the back. And that's why I tell you, what he's requesting in for, it's hard for the side of Man City to give it to him, because the number one centre forward for Man City is Erling Haaland. That is it. And for a player like Julian Alvarez, you'll obviously get in ample playing time at the club you are at, and that is the club known as Man City. So that is the situation in there for you. It's all about the game time. You get clubs involved in this: Chelsea, PSG, Atletico Madrid, and it's rumored that Arsenal would also show interest in signing Julian Alvarez. So what is at stake is Julian Alvarez wants to play more at the side of Man City. And Man City cannot promise him enough playing time like he wants. They want a centre forward who will obviously come in through and feel like it's okay to be the second man when Man City is really having Erling Haaland leading the line. Julian Alvarez, for me, by the way, I've always gone ahead to say that he's a striker for me that is better placed to be one of the best strikers in the world, provided he gets out of the Haaland shadow. At Man City, you've seen it that he's this boy that can score goals in any format. And more talented. He's clinical, non-selfish, scores free kicks. He's everywhere on the pitch. If you look for him at the pitch, he's really very mobile. And that's why these teams are interested in him. And do they have the big money that Man City will call in for? Because I tell you, Man City can call in for 80 million pounds, 90 million pounds, 100 million pounds for Julian Alvarez. He's still young. He has not gone ahead to hit his prime. He's a Premier League proven striker. This season he had 20 goal involvements in the Premier League. Last season he scored 9. This time he was going to score 11. But in the entire season, he put together a total of 20 goals. That is Julian Alvarez for you. And he was not the main man. He was not the main man. And that's why I tell you, if he gets a team where he's made the main man, he will score very many goals. That is Julian Alvarez. Now, before I go to Chelsea, PSG, Atletico Madrid, let me first obviously put Arsenal in the picture. He's being linked to Arsenal, that is it. We all know that. I've gone ahead to see someone's question in here for you. Let me even answer it. He goes by the names of Tebaijuka Robert, but they said they will never sell a player to Arsenal. Thanks, RD, for your news that he viewed to us. Now, yeah, Man City said that after selling Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal, and Arsenal went ahead, obviously, failed them to win the trophy, they will never sell them any player. Even João Cancelo wanted to come to Arsenal, but Man City were like, we cannot allow that deal to happen. We can't allow it to happen. That's why they went ahead to send him to Barcelona. And they cannot really sell. They cannot really sell a player to Arsenal. But in the transfers, never say never. I know that is still there as a very huge block, but in the transfers, never say never. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I tell you, anything can happen in transfers, and there is no need to obviously come out and really say that it cannot happen. You cannot really rule it out, because we've gone ahead to see very many transfers that have gone ahead to happen. At the start of the video, I hinted at the name Neymar. Barcelona never wanted to sell Neymar, right? They never wanted to sell Neymar. Neymar got a very lucrative deal from PSG, and he couldn't find himself resisting the offer. He told Barcelona, I want to leave. What Barcelona did was to make it hard to sell the player. They called in for 200 million euros. You get? And guess what happened? PSG said, we are going to break the bank and we are going to sign the player. And they went ahead to sign him. So, you might be seated there, and Arsenal might obviously come in through and wanting to sign Julian Alvarez, and they'll be having the money, and they'll be out competing every team, you know, and that player will be like, and his agent, I want to go to Arsenal. You get? So the problem of João Cancelo not coming to Arsenal, I think the other reason was Arsenal never wanted to meet the realistic evaluation for João Cancelo. Remember, by that time, João Cancelo was valued at 70 million euros. You understand? So, you can't tell me that if at all Arsenal had gone ahead to meet the realistic asking price from the side of Man City on João Cancelo, that they would have gone ahead to a state to really sell this guy to Arsenal. I think they would have gone ahead to do that. I think it's all about meeting the realistic asking price for the side of Man City. The moment you do meet it, I think they'll be willing to obviously do anything like business related with you. So it's possible and it's impossible. But can this guy help Arsenal if at all he's signed by Arsenal? I tell you, yes. He is a striker that can really create a moment of magic. Very clinical, acts well in tight spaces. You know, his speed is really very good. His acceleration is okay. And his preferred position is a number 9. And the number 9 he plays is really out of this world. I tell you, if Julian Alvarez is given what we call a lead role at Arsenal, lead the line, he can score very many goals. He runs well into those pockets of space, and he makes those number 9 runs into the 18 box area. But it depends on which kind of striker Arsenal wants, because when you look at the strikers that Arsenal has been looking up to, all those strikers have been really having physical attributes. Gyökeres, towering of a lad, and he's really a physical player. You understand? When you talk about Victor Osimhen, you know his attributes. He's really strong, he's a towering of a lad, and he's really very, very muscular. Go to Benjamin Šeško, the same. A man is taller than Erling Haaland, Benjamin Šeško, right? Taller than Erling Haaland. He has the energy, he has the physicality, and he has all that. Even if you go back to Ivan Toney, a striker that was linked to Arsenal in the winter transfer window of this year, he has all those attributes. He's that kind of player who will come in through and really put in a shift when it comes to really putting in energy. You understand? So that's what is happening onto the side of Arsenal. And I understand Julian Alvarez. So I think now a choice, if I told you an Arsenal manager, you have to make a choice. And that choice will depend on what you want. Šeško or Julian Alvarez. Guys, I still keep my stance. No striker in the market is like Benjamin Šeško. If I'm Arsenal, I stick with Benjamin Šeško, because when he comes in through, he's not going to come in demanding for playing game in, game out. Meaning that if you're signing Julian Alvarez from Man City to Arsenal, he'll even tell you that I have to start 90% of the games. You get? And that will disorganize what Arteta is going to have to build at Arsenal. And Arteta doesn't like players of that ego that come in through that I have to play. Because for Mikel Arteta, you need to prove to him that you are worth it, and you have to obviously be playing into the mix. You understand? So guys, that's what we got from that side, and I think I would go Benjamin Šeško rather than this guy. But when you look at Chelsea, he can really be a perfect fit in at Chelsea. You know, he can really be a perfect fit in at Chelsea, and Man City can sell to Chelsea. That is it, because Chelsea looks like they're still far off from really competing with them onto the trophy of the Premier League and the Champions League. You understand? And at PSG, all the two strikers they brought in the previous summer haven't gone ahead to perform very well. Goncalo Ramos struggling. Randall Colomwani is also struggling, meaning that they're looking out for another striker. And when I was watching the semi-final game and the quarter-final game, I was surprised that Colomwani couldn't obviously get into the starting 11 of PSG. Neither Ramos, Goncalo. And I was like, oh my God, all these players are really very good and they cannot get into this team of PSG. I was like, what the hell? And I'm not surprised that PSG is looking in for a striker, and even for Benjamin Šeško, PSG has already gone ahead to knock on the door, and they are willing to obviously put their project proposal onto the table of Benjamin Šeško to join the proposal of Arsenal. So, for Atletico Madrid, with Memphis Depay leaving as a free agent, they're really having, they're expecting money coming in from Barcelona for João Felix. They have to really get in a striker. That's why they're knocking on the door badly to get in Julian Alvarez. With lots of promises, they've gonna hit obviously Putin. But for me, I really rate him highly. He's a very good striker, but he might not really fit the striker that Arteta really wants, you know, because I think Arteta wants a physical striker. According to everyone they're gonna have to be linked at, all two, they're really physical strikers. Even if you talk about Zirkzee is a physical striker. Vlahovic is a physical striker. Santiago Jimenez, physical striker. Brian Brobby, you know, from Ajax, physical striker. And they're really tall and they're really very fast and clinical. Kahendo Oliver, I don't think Man City to sell player to Arsenal again, yeah. But you cannot really be conclusive at that level. It can happen. It can happen. It can happen. I tell you. Mohamed Sonko, Mr. Rokani, Man City can sell a player, but not to Arsenal. They can. I tell you they can. I tell you they can. They can. It depends on what situation was going to be put there. You know, look at how Meus Casido said no to the side of Liverpool and went to Chelsea. So it can happen. A player can say, no, I want to go to Arsenal. Sell me to Arsenal. What do you lose? I want to leave and I want to play out to Arsenal. I've been here for 2 seasons. I've done all I've got to do for you. They're getting you the money you want. Why are you sending me to PSG? Why are you sending me to Chelsea? Why are you sending me to Atletico Madrid? I want to be playing here. You know? Kings, Sichona, is it true? Go ahead and really watch this video from the start. I've gone here to bring you tweets from credible journalists in there for you. And then Richard Fenny, good morning, bro. I hope everything is good. Everything is good. Thajuka Robert, but they said they will never. All right, I'm going to answer you. Then Peter Bagonza Paul, Man City is fearing Arsenal cancelled. I tell you guys. Now, I tell you, if a player is at Arsenal right now and it tells Arteta, I'm fed up here, I want to go to Man City, they'll sell him there provided the right man comes in, the right money comes in place. For example, look at Harry Kane. The reason as to why he went to Bayern Munich, it was because no Premier League club was like willing to obviously pay £100 million. And when he went to the side of Bayern Munich, they paid £20 million less. They paid 80. Look at Douglas Luiz's situation. Aston Villa is like, if you are to sell to a Premier League club, you want £80 million. If you are to sell outside England, we want 69. So such stuff happens, and they can sell players provided the right money comes in through the door. It comes in with a cost. You need to obviously offer some huge money that the club won't obviously resist it in there for you. For example, Figo. I would like to take you when Figo was crossing from Barcelona to Real. You get? Guess what happened? No one thought that a player will ever cross from Barcelona to Real Madrid and vice versa. You know, the rivalry that's going to happen. But because Real Madrid broke the bank and they went ahead obviously to make Figo by then the most expensive player in the world, and they paid 62 million euros by then, obviously Barcelona had nothing to do. All they had to do was to dance to the tunes of Real Madrid, and the player was like, I'm not going anywhere. I want to go to Real Madrid. You have to take that money. What else do you want? So things can happen. If a player can be sold to Real Madrid by Barcelona under the player's influence, you know, what do you have to do then? It only comes with what we call huge money, you know. And I tell you, Man City can sell Julian Alvarez to Chelsea for £60 million. If Julian Alvarez wants to go to Arsenal, they will say, we want £100 million. They will try to outprice Arsenal. But if at all Arsenal wants the player, and the player wants to go to Arsenal, they can break the bank and obviously get in that player. So it's possible. Kahendo Oliver, Mr. Ari, good morning. Which players are really Arsenal seriously on signing this summer? Put a very close eye on Benjamin Šeško. Put a very close eye on Shinkov. Put a very huge eye onto the German left back. Put a very huge eye onto I think Douglas Luiz, or Onana, or Zubimendi. To me, those are the players that Arsenal really gonna choose on. One midfielder, one left back, one centre forward, and then one right winger. Those are the players I believe Arsenal really gonna go in for. No need for this guy. All right. Having Moataho Kenneth. This time City won't sell a player at Arsenal because it's a strong competitor. I understand your point, but there is something that you need to note. Money beats Gonza. Mateos No need for that guy. Robert says, if it's so and Arsenal are serious, they'll get him because I heard he was an Arsenal player. Julian Alvarez? Don't think so. Rashid and Sumana, hi my brother. Good evening, guys. Good morning in where we are right now. Tivaijuka Robert. For sure, Benjamin Sheshko is so great. I like him, and my player is Arsenal to sign him and him to pick up over other teams. Right. That is it. He just has to make a choice, depending on the deal that Arsenal is going to put on the table. Rashid and Sumana, I'm from Sierra Leone. Thank you for watching in from Sierra Leone, my brother. Then Dila Freddy. Hey, Rokani, please, let's also talk about Uganda Cranes football in your mix. Oh, you can look for the Ugandan Stains. I'm going to obviously speak about the Ugandan football. Ugandan Stains. Look for a channel called Ugandan Stains. Ugandan Stains. Uganda, then SANCE. There is a video, full match reaction about that game of Uganda Cranes. Maybe I forgot obviously share it on this channel, right? But I'm going to share it on the community, right? Such that you watch my reaction to that game. Then Rashidi and somebody, the Arsenal already signed Benjamin Sheshko. They haven't. It's all about Benjamin Sheshko to come in and obviously tell us what his decision is like. Then Tibaijuka Robert. We have ended a week whereby you are telling us that Benjamin Sheshko will decide this week. But now the guy... Have I decided that he's going to decide this week? Have I? I told you that Arsenal wants to see this deal done. That Arsenal set the time frame before the Euros start. And the Euros start on the 14th. Maybe there are some other people you watch, you get, and you come and really insert their words in my mouth. I haven't said that the deal of Benjamin Sheshko is going to be ending this week. Did I? Did I? I don't remember saying that. I said, hear me out. I said, Arsenal set a timeline that before the 14th of June, and they were not my words. I was quoting journalists that I think are credible. And what Arsenal did was to put their project proposal in the face of Benjamin Sheshko. Chelsea has, Manchester United has. Benjamin Sheshko has to make a decision. He has to make a decision, and everything that Arsenal needs to do, it's done. Ticked. But the problem is, Benjamin Sheshko needs to make a decision. He has to make a decision and decide whether he's staying at RB Leipzig, whether he's going to Arsenal, or Man United, or Chelsea, and PSG is going to join the rest. So, that's what I said. Quote my words very well. I never say that the deal is happening this week. Maybe you heard it from somewhere else and you're trying to obviously insert that person's words into my mouth. But I never said that. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. It has been nice watching you, all having you here. That is what we're going to hit to do here to have this live video. And I think we've been consistent. But during day, I'm going to really come live. On a daily, I want to start be doing 2 lives. One during day, one during the night. And at least exchange your views with me. For everyone that's been part of this video, I sign out for now. See you later. Thank you for watching it through. I cover in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Me out for now. Bye bye, my mates. And it's a 5 fingers out to everyone watching it through. I love you, die. Thank you for